The Police High Command has given members of the diplomatic community the assurance of their safety in Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja while parading 11 members of a gang alleged to be involved in the kidnap of the Deputy High Commissioner of Sierra Leone, the force public relations officer Donald Anwana says the suspects are also responsible for the kidnapping of high-profile individuals in the north. He also announced plans by the police to charge them to court as soon as investigations are concluded.
Suspects are being paraded for their alleged involvement in the kidnap of the Deputy High Commissioner of Sierra Leone to Nigeria, Major General Alfred Claude Nelson. The force public relations officer names the suspect.
The suspect kidnappers in our custody that you can see are 11 of them. We have Alhaji Rabiu Yusuf, he's age 45 years, he's the gang leader. You have Garba Abubakar, A.K. Habu, age 27. You know, even in the criminal world, they have two ICs. So he has the two ICs of the gang leader. You have Yusuf Adamu, Hussein Musa, Shaibu Idris, Usman Bello, Musa Ali, Muhammadu Abubakar, Suleiman Abubakar, Gambo Ibrahim, and Balarabe Mohamedou.
He also announced the directive of the Inspector General of Police towards curbing crime.
The IGP has directed the state commissioners of police and technical and operation commanders to improve on the response rate on issues of crime and criminality.
Kidnapping for ransom appears to be on the increase in the country. The recent kidnap of a female nurse at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital is also in the news. The chairman of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses, University of Benin Teaching Hospital branch, condemns the spate of kidnapping in the country.
Our nurse was kidnapped last month. Another nurse has been kidnapped again this month. And this is unfair. We are the one who pay the taxes. We are the one who do the work. We are the one who make the money for the nation to run.
In spite of the seeming increase in cases of kidnapping in the country, the police has vowed to deal with all criminals within the ambit of the law.
Now let's take this conversation further, and joining me now on the news at 10 is the retired Acting Inspector General of Police, Mr. Uzo Amakalo. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10 tonight. Now we keep hearing repeated assurances from the police force and from that unit that there is nothing to fear and everything is safe in the country. But do you feel as confident when we keep hearing issues of kidnapping and abductions as frequently as we hear them?
Yes, I do. I feel confident they will be able to grapple with the situation.
Yes, but what I'm asking is if you feel as confident that you are as safe as the police force is trying to make us feel when we have issues of kidnapping coming up every day. Yes, they are handling it, but how safe are we at the moment?
That's what I'm saying. The assurance is clear. The situation is just that a few things have to be put in shape, and they'll be able to put everything working.
What are those things?
I suppose there's some aspects they will be able to put in place again, and that will help put everything in shape. So we look forward. There's confidence that they'll be able to grapple with it.
Explain to us a little bit more about those things you're talking about that need to be put in place.
Yeah, there's the aspect of community policing. The police has been grappling with it for about 10 years now. But I look forward that the police will have to bring in the vigilante group, because the vigilante will be the bedrock of community policing at the communities and various organizations in the civil society. So we look forward to that synergy, and police will be able to have information enough and deal with situations that need to be taken care of.
One of the key issues we're grappling with at the moment is kidnapping for ransom. How do you actually deal with the issue of negotiating a ransom when some people argue that it is that money that is the attraction in the first place? How do you think we can handle that when people are taken away?
Well, people who fall victims of kidnap should have contact with the police high command. Oftentimes, this trust is not there, and that has been the bane of people coming back to say we paid some ransom. It's not done. You don't pay and come back to say you paid. You are dealing a blow on the society, not just yourself or the police. So if you pay, you are wasting the money. Get in touch with the police. I'd say police, not other rank police. Get in touch with the high-ranking police. They'll be able to protect your information and your person. And the persons will be free. The victims will be freed.
Retired Inspector General of Police Uzo Amakolo, thank you for sharing your thoughts on the news at 10 tonight. Then let's cross over to the world of business now. Here's Adeshewa Josh.
Thank you, Ijema. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business News. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development is advocating business integration in Africa for economic growth. The advice was given today at a dialogue session between the agency and the Lagos Chamber of Commerce. According to the UN subsidiary, Africa's global competitiveness can only improve if economies with areas of advantage partner for advancement.
Too long, private sector organizations and institutions have confined themselves to the comfort of their individual countries, while our counterparts in other parts of the world are advancing the frontiers of their economies and markets through integration.
There is an absolute need to bring down barriers to trade, wherever it is that you trade. And for the West African region, it's important that we talk not only about intra-African trade, and I'll get to that, but that we talk about trade wherever it is. After all, the West African trade profile tells us that the EU is the single most largest market in terms of destination for your exports. So we need to bring down barriers to trade. 2, we need to work towards creating that enabling environment that you as business can use to thrive, and I'll get to that. And then 3rd, this whole idea of the catalytic role of promoting sustainable development-oriented investment.
There is an urgent need for the Nigerian government to focus on key areas like agriculture, electricity generation, and education in order to develop the economy. And that's according to speakers at the Business Day CEO Forum held in Lagos today. The global CEO of Boston Consulting Group, Mr. Rich Lesser, stated that 5 key areas must be addressed if Nigeria is to change for the better.
The first is around the infrastructure requirements to continue to build. The second is around agriculture. The third is around education. 4th on manufacturing and strengthening manufacturing, both for domestic consumption and beyond. And then the 5th is on investing in the vast entrepreneurship that already exists in the country. There are many infrastructure challenges, but the single biggest, we believe, is around power and around getting electricity generation more consistent and more reliable across the country. It's a source of risk and inefficiency right now in the economy that needs to be addressed in the years ahead. And not be so reliant just on the energy sector is the strongest way to build prosperity broadly for the years to come. And that Nigeria has tremendous assets in its people, its growing population, in the strength of the in the agricultural base that could exist, but that it needs to invest in those elements if it's going to realize its potential in the future.
The benchmark index reversed to positive territory in today's trading session following mid-session rally across key banking, consumer and industrial goods and equities. For more on the closing numbers, here's Bisi Adebayo. Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The local stock markets got some respite today after 5 consecutive bearish sessions. The all-share index appreciated by 0.15% to close at 28,857.34, while market capitalization rose to 9.91 trillion naira. Investors exchanged 207.62 million shares worth 3.64 billion naira in 4,542 deals. NACO led the day's top gainers, which also include Fidelity Bank and ICO Insurance. On the flip side, GlaxoSmithKline lost 9.6% to emerge the highest loser. On the volume chart, Transco took the lead with 28.17 million shares. That ends the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo. Thanks a lot, Bessie. And major markets across the world ended Tuesday's session higher as tension over Brexit continued to ease, while Japan signaled more economic stimulus to weaken the yen. Here's a look at the figures. And that's business news tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment. I am Adeshewa Josh.
The Benin Electricity Distribution Company has concluded arrangements to provide before the end of 2016 an additional 100,000 prepaid meters for the private and commercial customers. Managing Director of the BEDC, Funke Oshibodu, announced this during the 7th monthly power sector stakeholders meeting in Benin City, the Edo State capital. In addition, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, confirmed the federal government's plan to invest in solar power.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, and his entourage arrived at the Transmission Company of Nigeria in Benin City, the Edo State capital. They are here for the 7th monthly power sector stakeholders meeting, hosted by the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC.
The most prevalent issue today is that there's a lot of gas pipeline vandalization that has significantly reduced power to everybody currently, and we're hoping that within a reasonable time, the industry will be able to find solution to that aspect.
Mr. Fashola speaks on the steps taken by the federal government to address some of the power generation issues.
I'd like to acknowledge some progress that has been made in terms of signing of major solar initiatives under the auspices of the Vice President and the President. It was a major groundbreaking curve for us. Since then, no less than 12 solar developers and promoters have come around to initiate their commitment.
Management of BEDC reveals plans to improve power distribution to its numerous customers spread across Edo, Delta, Ekiti and Ondo states, showing its readiness to improve on efficient customer service delivery.
Since we took over, we have rolled out meters of about 140,000. So another 100,000, that's 240,000, and we're moving on. So it will significantly reduce the complaints on estimated billing. The sort of interruption, voltage fluctuation, losses that you will normally have when you string wire from the pole to the houses will be highly eliminated. Safety and security, which is one of the things that we mentioned, we spoke about here as the industry, is very key to us. Our safety record in Benin Disco has improved, but we are working more to make it almost zero tolerance.
These steps listed are included in the communique issued at the end of the session and adopted by representatives of key stakeholders in the power sector in Nigeria.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Minister of Sport Solomon Dalong supports Team Nigeria for outstanding performance at the Olympic Games in Rio. That's on sports. You stay with us.